and gentlemen, I am say a poem for you called So. So! You can count your karma if Nirvana is your goal. You can shake and you can rattle. You can rock and roll. You can be a Clark Kent or a Lois or an Alice down a hole. You can be a vampire on a mountain with a heart of stone black coal. You can be a leather angel on a sleek black Harley bike, or a redhead screaming faggot, or a dazzling dyke. You can lock yourself in a closet in a fine meat stove, but it really doesn't matter if you ain't got soul.
Which brings us to this week's show. Well, it's The Infinite Wrench Goes Viral. I'm Joanna. Each week in our show, we present an array of digital plays of varying themes, structures, and lengths. This week, week 13. The 13th Amendment, passed by the Senate in April 1864 and the House in January of 1865. Took almost a year to become officially part of the Constitution, almost a year for the required number of states to ratify it. In that time, in that year, a whole president was assassinated, and a whole new one popped right up. The amendment reads as follows. Section 1. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdictions. Section 2. Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Now, some states were like, great, this is fine, this is awesome. Other states saw the second part and had some concerns, nay, demands. And this was them compromising. Fresh Pres Andrew Johnson here is like, I had to look down because I don't know what the fucking president's is. Fresh Pres of United States, Andrew Johnson, told some of these states who were concerned, and I quote, "Hey buds, don't worry, if it makes you feel happy, you totally have the power to control the rights of freed slaves. Like, that's all you. Like, if it were me, like, let him testify in court, you know? But, like, it's you. That's just a suggestion. It's all you, dude." To quote W.E.B. Du Bois, white politicians throughout the South were concerned that Congress might cite the amendment's enforcement powers. That second part of the 13th Amendment. They were concerned that the Congress might use that to help people get the right to vote. Alabama, South Carolina, and Louisiana all clarified before ratifying the 13th Amendment that Section 2 didn't imply federal power in legislating the status of a former slave. And then the federal government was like, all right, I guess. So what did all of that shit that I just mumbled leave us with? States steeped in white supremacist ideals reluctant to free slaves became states reluctant to allow former slaves to own property, became states reluctant to allow former slaves to have jobs or opportunities, became states reluctant to offer children of former slaves good education, became states finding loopholes and being able to make laws, became states criminalizing homelessness, mental illness, queerness, transness, poorness, and blackness by proxy, and thus becomes a country with prisons full of black and brown bodies, locked up, paid in loose change, servitude as punishment for a crime. To quote from Jones v. Alfred H. Mayer Company, 1968, just as the black codes enacted after the Civil War to restrict the free exercise of those rights were substitutes for the slave system, so the exclusion of Negroes from white communities became a substitute for the black codes. And when racial discrimination herds men into ghettos and makes their ability to buy property turn on the color of their skin, then it too is a relic of slavery. A substitute of a substitute of a substitute of a substitute for slavery is not freedom. But what do I know? I'm not a scholar. I read all this shit off Wikipedia. I'm just black. It's Pride Month, and in the past week, 2 black trans women were murdered. They were found dead. Dominique Fells and Raya Milton were found dead. How is this a free country for them? How is it that so many people who look like Dominique and Raya fight every moment of their lives just to survive? Why were they more likely to die of violence than old age? How is it that in this month of all months, we have so much more to grieve than last year? If their black lives don't matter, then why should mine? Why are so many people still so surprised that we want to burn it all down and start over? Have you been listening at all? This week we dedicate the show to Dominique Fells, Raya Milton, Nina Pop, Tony McDade, Monica Diamond, Malaysia Booker, Kiki Fantroy, B. Love Slater, Kelly Stowe, Raylan Thomas, Ty Underwood, Anaya Parker, Island Nettles, Dee Dee Pearson, Victoria Carmen White, Nerea Johnson, Dana Martin, Jazeline Ware, Ashanti Carmen, Claire Legato, Michelle Tamika Washington, Paris Cameron, Shinell Lindsay, Chanel Skurlock, Zoe Spears, Brooklyn Lindsay, Denali Berry Stuckey, Tracy Single, Bubba Walker, Pebbles Ladime Doe, Bailey Reeves, Jamaggio Jamar Berryman, Italy Marlowe, Brianna Hill, all other black trans lives lost due to violence that goes unreported, and all those black trans people that are still here, still marching, still living, making art, writing poems, giving, dreaming, loving, and surviving. You deserve better. Our show today, in 30 plays and 1 living wrench, starting now.